I decided to make child pornography in an attempt to show how awful and evil child pornography really is, at the end of the day, I still made child pornography. Hello everybody, welcome to Film Fireside. I'm doing kind of a different video. I haven't done this yet, but I want to comment on this. This is kind of a news thing going on right now. Cuties was dropped on Netflix just a couple days ago, and the internet is freaking out about it. Everyone is so up in arms about this awful, awful, awful movie that is sexually exploiting 11-year-old girls and thinking that it's okay to do that. I wanted to comment on this though, and offer some thoughts, because I feel like the problems here are being misrepresented. And there are problems, but they're being misrepresented. I had zero plans to watch Cuties. I saw the trailer for it. I wasn't going to review it and watch it because I didn't think many people would know about it, and honestly it looked kind of dumb. But I saw some articles today about how this exploits young girls, but the original post showed that there was like 11-year-old girls nude in the movie, and I was like, whoa, that's a huge problem. However, after actually looking up in the parent guide, that's not quite accurate. However, there's still some hypersexualization going on here, even though there isn't nudity of these girls per se. So I decided to breeze through the film. To say I watched the film would be a stretch. I didn't really watch the movie, but I gave a half-assed attempt at doing so. And I found pretty quickly, it wasn't hard to realize that, yeah, there was a lot of hypersexualized cinematography choices going on. The things these girls are talking about are highly sexualized, and they're 11 within the story. And it's one thing if they're choreographed doing dances that are very, again, I'm using this word a lot, hypersexualized. And it'd be one thing if they were doing those, but the weird close-ups on parts of their body that no one should be focusing on in an underage minor is alarming. That was troublesome. But I didn't want to just stop after I saw it. I wanted to give it my full half-ass attempt. So I went through the whole thing and I stopped and watched a few scenes, and I kind of got an idea, at least, of the full movie. So one thing I want to, I guess, debunk more or less, I want to make clear, is a lot of people are saying that this film is promoting sexualization of 11-year-old girls. The film is doing that intentionally.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
I'm telling you that absolutely not. That's not what it's doing. The ending of the film, I'll just tell you, I'm just going to spoil this movie. I don't really want you to watch it, and I don't think people should be supporting this movie, so I'll just go ahead and spoil it. This girl who is trying to find herself, I'm just really very paraphrasing, she finds some acceptance in this group of dancing girls, and goes through a lot to try and win their trust and love at the expense of her family's love and trust as well. And at the very end, as they're performing their big number, she gets this realization that this isn't her, that she doesn't want to be this way. So she runs home, seeks forgiveness, and comes out a happy, balanced version of herself that is healthy and well. So this film, and again, the cinematography shots of this film and the film itself suggests that this girl is having this more or less awakening to the fact that in society, she as a woman is going to be sexualized when she gets older, and is now trying to figure out what to do with that. And that's the plot here. So no, this movie is not promoting 11-year-old girls and using them as child pornography. No, that's not what's happening. And in fact, the director made a comment about this.
Our girls see that the more a woman is overly sexualized on social media, the more she is successful. And the children just imitate what they see. But my question is, isn't the objectification of women's body that we often see in our Western culture not another kind of oppression?
So that is the intention of this movie. But, huge but, like big but.
I like big but.
Just because the film wants to do something and wants to accomplish a goal doesn't mean their means of doing it is necessarily correct. Now I have family and friends who very specifically make it a rule for themselves to just not watch R-rated movies because they think R-rated movies are all bad and not conducive and not helpful. That's fair. They're welcome to do that. I'm not really going to push them either way. My response to that typically, though, is when people try to convince me that I shouldn't either, because typically those arguments are like, how can you watch those movies? There's violence, there's sex, there's swearing, there's this, and this. And my response to that usually is the film's content is not the same as the film's intent. So let's take 12 Years a Slave, for example. I don't know if you've seen this movie. It won the Academy Award back in 2014, I believe. I think it was for the 2014 award season. This film is brutal. The content of this is very, very hard. It depicts slavery in a very, very awful and a very, very real way, and it's an uncomfortable movie to watch. However, it is very effective because the intent of this is to have that affect us and have us ponder this reality that existed within our history and maybe recognize how we still need to make changes to fix it and keep progressing as a society. If I were to take this movie and then say, I cannot believe that in 2013, a film was made showing racist things happening to all these slaves. What the heck is wrong with our society? This is okay now? Being racist is okay? Is that what we're saying? No, that's not what the film is suggesting at all. However, let's take this movie, because I think there is a huge difference. So like I said, content is not the same as the film's intent. However, I'm going to add a clarification to that. The film's intent does not excuse the responsibility of the content being created. Let me say that again. The film's intent does not excuse the responsibility of the content that is being created. So let's talk about this movie. I opened up this by saying, if I wanted to make a film that contained child pornography, very specific and vivid, hardcore child pornography, to commentate on the fact that child pornography exists in our society and it's awful and we need to do more to fix it, that in and of itself, I would be contradicting myself. To just make child pornography because I'm against child pornography, I'm making child pornography. This film is arguing and suggesting that the girls are being sexualized at a younger and younger and younger age, and the way the film depicts that is by sexualizing these young girls. It's supposed to be ironic, and it's supposed to make us like think and go, oh, see, I see what you did there. But again, is that really what you wanted to do? No, you wanted to point out that this is something wrong with our society and it needs to be fixed. You can't do the thing. And again, because the damage is done. The danger in sexualization of women is that the people like me and people who morally think that that's wrong, we don't need to watch the sexualization of women to know it's wrong. The people who need to perhaps be more aware of that, the damage, it's too late. The damage is done because they've already watched the sexualization of women and it has perhaps affected them in a way that we don't want it to. So I wanted to just clarify this. I wanted to comment on it because I think people are misrepresenting why the film is a problem. It's not, the film doesn't technically contain like child pornography and that it's like just full-blown naked 11-year-old girls on the screen and like doing things that are inappropriate. There are very adult topics related to these 11-year-old girls. I think the script in and of itself would be fine if the cinematography wasn't zooming in on these 11-year-old girls' rear ends and like I think IMDb describes as crotch shots, which yeah, that's accurate. They have these really slow-mo and the girls are doing these very sexual faces and like moves and whatnot. And again, it's supposed to make us uncomfortable because she's suggesting that this is, in fact, wrong, but it's a contradiction of itself because you're doing the thing that is wrong. You are making art that is doing the exact thing you are against. So, no! Because at the end of the day, when you've hypersexualized 11-year-old girls for the sake of pointing out how wrong it is to hypersexualize 11-year-old girls, at the end of the day, you've just hypersexualized 11-year-old girls. All right, yeah, I wanted to comment on that. My score of this film is 0 out of 10. Straight up, don't watch it. It's not worth it. This is all you need, really. What I just gave you is like all you need to know about the movie. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a comment down there and start a discussion with me. I'd love to get in a discussion with you about this topic or just movies in general. We go ahead and give this video a like. You're already here and it does nothing but support the channel and I really appreciate it when you do. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any further content I post. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Bye-bye.